You're from that weird family, aren't you?
We're not weird.
We don't like wrestling.
How do you know if you've ever been?
I've never had rectal bleeding before, but I'm pretty sure I'm not a fan of that.
How about I shove her head up your ass and then we can find out?
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. You know, obviously, you've broken down so many doors already, but think about it. Think about it. There are no biopics for any professional wrestler out there. You're the first one.
Hey.
How does that feel?
What can I say? I mean, it feels incredible. I'd never thought at 26 I would have a biopic about my life. But here we are. I'm talking to you, and I'm talking about a movie that's written, directed by Stephen Merchant and produced by The Rock. Like, what more can you ask for? It's incredible.
Has your family seen the film yet?
Of course.
What are their responses so far?
They loved it. Dad wanted Ray Winston to play him, so he's a little bit worried about Nick Frost because he didn't know who he was at first. And I was like, Dad, he's amazing. He's an incredible actor. But when he saw him, he was like, oh yeah, it's actually pretty good, isn't he? Yeah. And I was like, yeah, he's a wonderful actor and he did a great job portraying you. But the whole cast was just, like, they were beautifully casted. They were all so talented and wonderful and just nailed it.
Well, it's just fun. It's so funny that you say that because that's what I thought. Everybody was perfect for their roles, but Ray Winston kind of does make a little bit of sense when you say that.
Yeah, it makes sense. But Nick just like I can't imagine anyone in the role apart from Nick.
Yeah.
He's just so wonderful. Like.
Do you have sit-downs with Florence to kind of go through a bunch of stuff, or she wanted to do everything on her own?
So I didn't actually get to meet her until after the movie, but in person. But we spoke on the phone, like she called, she texted me, and anything that she needed help with, like for example, the Staples Center scene, she obviously wasn't used to walking out in front of 10,000 people, you know, and the wrestling fans gonna be pretty brutal to someone that they don't know, you know. So she had to ask for my help for that, but anything else she would ask and I would help her with, and she was just so easy.
You know, when I was watching the documentary, you know, there's that whole point where you weren't allowed to bring the cameras into the tryouts and all the other kind of training. So were the things that we saw in the film kind of portrayed properly, or is it we had to make it all up?
No, it was. I would say 95% of the movie was accurate to my story. Obviously, you have to dramatize it a little bit for Hollywood in some scenes and stuff like that. Like, I mean, the scene where The Rock is yelling at us backstage, you know, that part didn't actually happen, but the rest of it is pretty on point.
Didn't happen, but I wish it did happen.
I wish it did. I wish he yelled at me like that backstage. That would have been freaking cool. Yeah.
Now, I'm also interested, again, just going back to the whole point, you know, you said you didn't meet Florence till after.
Right.
I'm sure you spoke to Steven and other people throughout the process. Was there a certain point you felt that you did want to back off them and say, let them make the film a little bit how they wanted to make it?
It was kind of like that, like throughout the whole thing anyway. Like it wouldn't be an everyday occurrence where I'd be like, hey, you need to do this. It was every other day he would like text or call me, and I would just only help out when they asked me, you know. But I trusted them with my story. I trusted Dwayne. I trusted Steven, and I just knew they were gonna make magic, you know.
Well, thank you so much.
And it got 90% on Rotten Tomatoes already. What the?
It's good. What? You know what? He did. You know, it's one of those things where you know what's gonna happen, but I still feel like that power of what happened.
Yeah, right.
He did a good job. Yeah.
Bizarre. Yeah, I love it.